Hi, my name is Goddess Ariana, and I am an indie author whose debut novel will be releasing before the end of 2021. I'm currently working on my sequel just so that they can come out closer to the same time, don't want to leave people waiting. But before that, I spent a lot of time reading and writing short stories, spending time on Tumblr writing, and doing things of that nature for like the last 8 years. Truthfully, I have not read a book front to back in some years. I have not finished a book in a very long time. And a lot of people are very weird on saying that and mentioning that they don't read as often as people would like them to, but they are writers. And I am okay with saying that, mainly because I have found tons of other ways in order to develop my writing skills without having to read a book cover to cover. So in this video and others like it, I'll be giving you some tips and tricks as to how I develop my writing using other forms of media. And we'll be starting with TV. But before we do that, make sure you hit the like button if you like videos like this. If you learn anything, definitely hit the like button. Comment some other video topic ideas that you like, some shows that have given you some great ideas or movies or anything like that, and definitely let me know. And also, of course, subscribe if you want to keep up with my book or get any more tips like this, then definitely do that. So unlike the other video, I actually have notes for once, so you guys will be actually learning something from this. And I'm really excited to do this video because it is something that I have been doing for such a long time. And I've actually been taking it a little bit more seriously as of lately because I am working on another series as well as the second to my book. So doing two things like that, you have to have like mental maps going on, and so it's way more crucial for me to learn as much as possible during this stage because I am beginning a brand new writing stage. My lights are red today, by the way. My brother did that, so you're welcome. So moving on, what you guys came for, not the lights, but how to develop your writing watching TV. It sounds ridiculous, it does, but it's possible, and it is something that I have perfected, okay? Using TV to write better. I realized last night I got it, okay? I've cracked the code. So at the end of the day, it's really all about how you watch TV. If you're just watching to have something play in the background, then it's not really going to catch your attention unless it's really, really crucial. You're looking for little writing things, and that's what I'm going to help do without sucking the joy out of watching TV. You don't want to do that either. Let's just begin. So the reason why this works is simply because everything has a script. Every TV show has a script. Even though the methods might be a little different or things of that nature, separating movies and TV from books is a mistake. Do not do that, okay? You're gonna take them all with the same eye that you would take a book that you're trying to learn from. This one's a little, look, it's distracting now that I've pointed it out. Moving on. So the first tip that I have for you in terms of watching TV in order to learn and better your writing is to watch with intent. Now this is something that you're just gonna have in the back of your head. I don't want you to like turn something on, and if you genuinely do not want to watch that, you're not gonna appreciate it. So watch shows that you like. Shows that I'm currently watching are Charmed, Supernatural, and The Walking Dead. These all have a theme, as you can tell. So with that being said, that gives a hint as to what my next series is about. I also want to throw in Game of Thrones in there somewhere. I have not started it yet, but I do want to, just because it might fit the theme of what I'm trying to bring to the table with this next series. When it came to my first series, I watched things like Who Killed Sarah, New Girl, Firefly Lane, and things of that nature. But these shows came after I had finished the first draft, and they really helped me get character development together and get certain plots together and things like that, just because, back to just, we're not going to go into my writing process in general, we're just going to go into TV. Does not matter what draft I was on, we're just going to focus on the fact that I was watching it. So for one category, I did watch more stuff for fantasy and things of that nature. I also watched The One as of recently, and that has helped tremendously with like unique character relationships. That's another thing. If you want to learn more character dynamics, there's a lot of shows, and a lot of shows with a lot of seasons, with a lot of good reviews. There's a reason for that, and you really want to look at those shows like The Walking Dead. Supernatural is a very long show, so there's a lot of complicated relationships.
What is this?
Never seen a birthday cake before?
And what I've done is every time I see a relationship that I wouldn't have necessarily thought of from the beginning, I write it on my whiteboard. I'm not going to show you guys my whiteboard just because it's filled with spoilers for a book that has not been written yet, but is being planned, so I don't want to show that. But I do have a list of complicated relationships that I've seen in different shows, or just different relationships that I just honestly would not have thought of first draft. And this will save you a lot of time putting it into your first draft, then going back later and being like, oh, that would have been a good idea, and having to rework and just uproot everything that you've already made. That's really annoying. I was a huge pacer writer, and in my first book I had to write about 3-4 drafts, but the second was a huge uproot. It took about 6 months itself, so it was about a year writing and then 6 months of the second draft, just because I had to redo everything. It was a mess, so it took a very long time. And now I'm taking planning very seriously, but we're not talking about that. Watch with intent. Watch things and intend to learn from them, and it will change your writing experience. An example of this would be, I was watching The Walking Dead last night and something huge happened. I'm not going to spoil the show, of course, and I knew it was going to come just because it's been out so long that we kind of all know spoilers. I knew it was going to come, but the way they did it was not something I expected. I could not cry over it, because instead I was way too impressed with the writing of it, to the point where I got up and I wrote that down. That's what you want to do. And I'm not saying copy these shows or anything like that, but things that make you think, you want to notice that and be like, oh my God, perfect. And so I kind of stopped myself mid-emotional spiral and wrote it down. And I was just so impressed by the writing. And with practice, you become better at this, and you kind of do it. It's like in the back of your head, and you can just pick a random show, and it can be anything. It does not have to match the same genre. I mean, you can, but I don't recommend only matching the same genre, but we'll talk about that later. And then when you watch with intent, it'll become second nature to you. And I also do this with creating characters out of nothing, and I'll make another video out of that as well. So I kind of already touched on the second one, which is take notes when something makes you emotional. The Walking Dead is a good example of this, because that's just what I've been watching lately, and it's new. Whereas Supernatural, I'm just rewatching it with my friend. And so when I notice things and I'm like, they did this, they made me think they were going to do this, and they did that. They've done that a few times. And so I'm like, okay, cool. Like, okay, I'm write that down. Take note of anything that makes you emotional. Take note of anything that makes you go, whoa. Don't just go, whoa. Realize why you went, whoa. And you try to write that yourself. Not the same exact plot. Obviously, we're not stealing plots, but the method of it all is just, the inspiration of it all. You definitely want to pull something like that, because if you can take a script and write this down and someone can put it on a TV screen, then you can take a paragraph and put that image in someone's mind and may have the same effect. Does that make sense? I don't know. So that was really long. So number 3, I told you we were going to get back to this. Watch different kinds of TV. Okay? Watch different kinds of TV. Watch your friend's favorite TV show. Ask one friend what they like to watch and watch it. Okay? This is so good, because shows like the one, I never would have clicked that or whatever. It wasn't my friend's favorite show. I was just really, really bored, but it gave me so much. It gave me about like 4 of my complicated relationships on my chart. And I think that's really awesome. So definitely watch things out of your comfort zone. Watch things that you might not like. At least try it. Get a little taste of it. I'm obviously not going to ask you to watch something that you really just can't sit through. It's awful. It's boring. It sucks. You don't want to be involved with anything like that. Fair enough. But definitely try to step out of your comfort zone with things that you watch. I usually watch New Girl. But aside from the roommate relationship and seeing how friendships form and it being a sitcom, doesn't do much for me. So I have decided to step out of that comfort zone, and you can get I'm scatterbraining, it's my Gemini, but you can get inspiration from anything. I watch Big Time Rush, Disney movies. We're gonna get into that. But yes, watch things you normally would not watch and just see what happens. There's nothing wrong with seeing what happens. So number 4 is to watch things that have already gone from book to movie or book to TV show. It's just interesting to see, and I think that I realized those specifically have definitely helped with my writing, because now I'm watching The Vampire Diaries, or I haven't finished that, but I was wondering, okay, you have all these characters, how was it written? And it's very easy when it comes to book to movie, book to TV show, to where if you have questions, you can just go get the book and just see how it was written and see how they were like, okay, let's portray this into TV version. And if you have a goal of one day your book being made onto TV movies, then you definitely would want to see what have we already made into TV or movies. Right? Exactly. Especially in the genre that you're in. So definitely look at more book to movies, book to TV shows, those kind of things, and watch those. And then if you're interested enough, buy the book and see what they did. So number 5 was almost the last one, but I thought of something else. So we're just going to go on with number 5. Watch with the captions on. This will help with character descriptions, especially with dialogue, so much. And then to talk about dialogue, I remember I was watching Supernatural and I completely forgot that the word scoffs exists, where the character's like scoffing. And I was watching and I saw that, you know, and not only do you get to see what it looks like and where you can use it and what scenes you can use it in, you can learn more movement, character description, stuff like that. Like, captions are so underrated when it comes to writing because it gives you pretty much everything. Sam scoffs. Sam throws paper. Like, they're just little things that you would just not think of that would fit in a scene that you wrote. And then you could just be like, oh my God, yes, perfect. Exactly. So watching with the captions on definitely helps. Also, dialogue. So we're just going to do like a little 5 sub A kind of thing. Dialogue. Pay attention to how certain characters with certain personalities talk. Does the villain make jokes? Is that the kind of villain that they are, but like no one's laughing because it's not funny, but they're like trying to say like funny stuff, but you know it's a really uncomfortable situation.
Also, when I sent my people to kill your people for killing my people, you killed more of my people. Not cool. Not fucking cool.
Does the main character curse a lot? And is it only when they're angry? And if you see more characters that kind of fit that personality type that you're going for, you can see how they talk, how they move. Read the captions again. Do they scoff a lot because they just can't deal? Things like that. So when you're watching that, you can kind of see these characters a lot easier and a lot faster and with a lot less effort than if you were reading a book front to back. And the very last one that I have for you guys would be watch commentary. I actually did this by accident. I'm not going to say that this was actually something that was like helping me with writing at first, because it wasn't. I mean, maybe. I like to watch a lot of movie commentary, a lot of funny movie commentary, just because I like people like Dylan Is in Trouble, Aaron and Joe, people like that. And I think those are the only 2. I watch CinemaSins, TV Sins. Right? Here's the thing. You can read a book review, but they're not going to cite half the time exactly where they didn't like something. You can read a movie review. They're not going to cite the exact description of the scene. They're not going to give you a quick rundown of the movie and things like that. Movie commentary is great because you'll see them, movie or TV show commentary, because you'll see them react to things. And of course, take this with a grain of salt as well. If someone does not like something, but you really think that scene is necessary for your book, don't just take it out. But it's good to see like this person is watching this movie in real time and they're just like, that was a stupid decision. It's just nice to see how people would react to certain actions that a character would make and things of that nature. If you're watching a movie commentary and you know that the person commenting does not like fantasy movies at all, but they're crying over this movie for the very first time and they just saw it, what did that director do to change their mind on that kind of movie? Write that down. Realize that. And you want to do that to enhance your writing, to enhance your storytelling. Because really, we're not talking about writing and grammar. And like we talked about it a little bit with like the action words and stuff like that. But really, we're talking about storytelling. And one thing that I can do is tell a story. That is just one of my greatest assets with anything. And it has to do, I think, with just the amount of time that I spent on Tumblr and just developing. And there was friends that I made that made me step out of my comfort zone when I started really, really early. So I've had just years of practice and just making a good dramatic plot. And of course, like that. And then once my writing enhances even more, and I'm hoping, like, that's why I'm in this learning phase now with my second series, because I'm hoping that's going to be just a huge, like, blow my first one out of the water. Moving on. So yes, those are all the tips that I had for you guys. I made notes this time today. So that's why this video is short and sweet and to the point. Not as short as like, but it's better. It is. I think it's better. But yeah, so that's all that I have for you guys. I hope that that did help somebody, and we'll go more into depth on other stuff and other ways that you can enhance your writing without having to open a book. All right, so that's all that I have for you guys today. And again, my name is Goddess Ariana. If you did learn something, like, subscribe. Definitely, there's a lot of people watching who are not subscribed, so make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.